Hi everyone. Welcome to today's application roadmap. We're looking at the TMDSAS application. One of the most common questions we receive is where to start in the TMDS application. What does it look like? How are you navigating the application? I have an example application here from entry year 2026, just to give you an idea of the general layout of the sections and just walk through the application sections, looking at what you need to complete before submitting, and just kind of how that flow of the process is structured. Applicants can submit once required sections are complete, even if some of those supporting materials are still in progress, like your letters or test scores. To log into your application, you go to the TMDSAS webpage, start your application, or you can do sign in as applicant, and you'll see the application guide is also there, and you'll select access your application. Then you'll be prompted to the login. You can create a user account. If you don't have one, just put in your name and your email address. And there's also an option to opt in for providing your cell phone number. You can select yes or no, and then you will create a password, answer security questions, and then you log in to the application portal. Here you'll see important announcements, a place to upload your documents. You can see a PDF of your application. There are certain announcements and messages that will be on that portal page, such as don't submit your transcripts yet until you've been requested. Okay, the first section, the applicant user agreement, that's where we'll start. The applicant user agreement goes over the different policies and procedures on certain areas that you will have to check off that you understand and have read through. Once you complete that, you can hit continue, and it will take you to the next section of the application, which is actually your section status page. So this will show you which sections of the application you have completed and the date stamp showing when you've completed them. So this way, if you are putting your information in the application and then saving it, coming back to it later, you'll have that record there. Your status page will also show you the schools you've applied to. Your GPA general breakdown is there for you as well after you enter your coursework information, as well as this is where you're going to see your letters of evaluation and the status of those. So as you can see here, these are marked as not received. The requested method is also there, and the letter writer. And once your letters are received, that is where that information will update to marked received and approved. Your test score information will also be there once you release your test scores to TMDSAS and those scores are received. All right, the next section will be select schools section of the application. This is where you are selecting your schools. My status page for this example application already had those schools on the status page because I had previously gone in and selected them, but you'll see here you are selecting all of the TMDSAS schools you are applying to, and that's where you'll also indicate non-TMDSAS schools that you've applied to. The next section, the application history section, you will move on to complete that. Do note at the top of every section page there are the corresponding links for the application guide for that section so that you can read through the detailed information listed there. There is a short answer here about the activities you're currently involved in, as well as if you are a reapplicant, you are adding the schools that you previously applied to through TMDSAS and the entry year that you applied, answering the question about your student status full-time or not, and for reapplicants there is that question there which we can go over in more detail later on in the application workshop series, and all of the non-TMDSAS schools that you previously applied to. The next section of the application is where you will enter your contact information, your name, email, phone number, mailing address, and permanent address if it's different from your mailing address. Then you move on to the demographics section and answer the corresponding questions there. Socioeconomic information will come next. You'll answer the questions there and select from the drop downs as appropriate. After hitting save and continue, move on to military service information and parent legal guardian information. This is where you'll enter that information. As soon as you select yes, you see all those boxes did open up, as well as sibling information. And then the significant person information will be the next section. Financial information. There is some numbers to enter. Felonies and misdemeanors section. This is if that's applicable to you. This is the area where if you select yes, a text box does open up for you, and there is a corresponding application guide section that goes into much more detail about that. The next section is high school information. This is where you will enter the high school that you graduated from and your graduation information. This is where you will also be able to enter SAT and ACT results should you have those scores to enter. After high school information comes colleges attended. This section, you will enter all of the colleges or universities where you attended, and you do so by when you first start to type in the name of the institution there after selecting the state, the search will pull up those institutions. Do select them from the list. Perhaps you maybe need to enter keyword search criteria differently. After choosing the institution information, it'll auto-populate there. And then you will enter your attendance dates, your first term of attendance to your final term of attendance and the year. And you'll do this for each institution that you do need to add. And then you're able to add your degree information and indicate whether you plan to receive that degree or if you already have, and the year, month and year. That allows you to continue on to the major and minor section where you will be selecting from the drop down your primary major or secondary majors and minors. Then when you go back, once you add that information, it takes you back to the colleges attended page, and you just click that. Once you are finished adding colleges, you will click that square and move on. The colleges attended section has a few questions for you to answer, and then you can move on to the terms attended. You will add a term for each of the corresponding colleges attended semester and year information that you added in the previous section, so do make sure that you have a term entered there according to your dates of attendance at that university. Once you fill out those out, you continue on to the coursework section. So only after you create the terms attended will you see the coursework section where you can add your coursework, which we will go over in a video later on in the workshop series in more detail. But you'll put that course information for each course underneath the term in which you took that course. Then you will answer questions about planned enrollment, if you do have planned enrollment to add. And the education training history section is where, depending on your answers to those yes/no questions, text box will populate for you to enter certain corresponding information. If you do need to enter information in any of those, do use the application guide sections information corresponding to that. All right, now into the biography section is where you are listing all of those recognitions, activities, experiences, and you'll see on that right-hand side panel, you can move around between those, adding, just making sure you hit at the bottom, that add button at the bottom to add that activity experience role. And moving through all of those, you will want to make sure you enter all of your activities. You can come back to that section anytime prior to creating the chronology of activities, which we'll go through in just a moment. But yeah, you're entering your information there and adding the activity before selecting another activity. But like I said, you can move between the different types of activities and experiences as you go to enter your various activities. You don't have to complete one before moving on to the other. You can, on that right-hand side there, go through the different experiences. There are certain experiences and activities that pertain to certain school types. such as dental experience or veterinary experience or manual dexterity for dental students as well. All right, once you finish entering those activities and experiences, then you will see the section where you will enter your top 3 meaningful experiences, listing that activity name and using the text box to reflect on those activities. You will enter your planned activities, any activities between the October 1st TMDSAS application deadline and when you would matriculate into that professional school program. The dates and descriptions and hours to your best approximation. The next section is your essays. You will want to save and save often. And do note in the left-hand corner, the timeout counter will show you where you're at. So do save and save often as you're working on those essays. Next, you'll upload a photo according to the requirements listed there. Then after that, this section for test dates, you'll find information there. Again, this is a veterinary example application, though MCAT or DAT wasn't required to enter. If you've taken the MCAT or DAT, you will list that information. You'll want to have your AAMC ID number and make sure that it's accurate. And then once you enter that, there will be more questions that populate there about your test dates so that you can add that information and make sure your test dates are accurate, make sure your AAMC ID number is correct, and that way your scores are releasing correctly to TMDSAS. The next section is for your letters of evaluation. Here is where you indicate how the method of which your letters will be received, whether that's the HP committee packet or individual letters, and here's where you're entering your information for each of your letter writers. You'll input the name of your evaluator, your relationship status to that evaluator, method of submitting, and the email address associated with that evaluator so that they can receive that link. And you do have to complete that section of the application before moving on. So do know that you need to input your letter writer information. And we'll have a workshop coming up here in a couple of weeks about going in more depth about your letters of evaluation. The next section of the application is the chronology of activities. As you can see here with this application, the application is asking that I complete the following missing sections before that chronology can be created. So do know that you'll have to enter all of that information before the application creates your chronology. Do make sure that you've entered everything, every activity and experience that you want to add before creating that chronology, as once you create that chronology, it is difficult to edit that information. The next section is the residency section. This is where you will answer questions about citizenship and state residency. If you are claiming Texas as your state of residence, then there are some subsequent questions to answer. Depending on how you answer those questions, other questions and selections will populate there. And based on those answers to those questions, you may or may not be asked to upload documents at that time. We'll be going into a special application workshop video about residency in a couple of weeks. All right, the certification statement is what comes next. So there are application certification statements there that you will read and acknowledge by clicking that yes checkbox. And then the final step will be to pay and submit. Now you can see here that because this application is missing sections that must be completed in order to submit, that they're listed out for me there, and the application is saying that I must complete those in order to move on to pay and submit. If I were to complete those sections for this example application, then I would see the pay and submit screen where I would enter payment details, finalize that, and hit submit to finalize the submission of my application. Thank you so much for joining us today, and if you do have any questions after watching this video, drop your questions in the chat. Do know that we have more workshops coming. Next Wednesday we'll be discussing activities and experiences, so stay tuned for that. As always, you can reach out to us at info@tmdsas.com.